Hello people of YouTube, this is Gray's Guitars. I am Steve Gray. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, leave a like, and feel free to comment down below what you would like me to do for future guitar and music related videos. So today we have some craptastic news, I guess is the best way to describe it. Reverb is unfortunately raising their rates from 3.5% to 5%, so a full 1.5%. Basically, the gist of it is here. Basically says over the past, I'll read to you what I have in front of me. Over the past several years, our team has been dedicated to growing Reverb into a global online destination that music makers visit to discover the world's best music shop and sellers. Beginning August 4th, 2020, Reverb's fee is going to basically increase to the 5%. So, the reason behind that is like, oh, you know, we're advertising more, we're selling more, we're like the best sellers of used gear on the market, blah, 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 whatever. I mean, it all comes down to money. Basically, they want more money. They got bought out, I think it was about a year ago at this point, and it's basically stayed the same. I mean, there's been some improvements to the site, but obviously, it's a combination of they probably have more staff now, you know, more people are working on the site, and working to get the postings out there so people buy them, and more people are probably, you know, putting money into the site, and they want more money themselves. So, I mean, it's a little bit of a greed card, a little bit of a, hopefully there'll be some better improvements to the site, but let's talk about what it means for the seller and what it means for the buyer. So what it means for the seller is they are going to probably increase the price of that instrument, and what it means for the buyer is you are probably going to have to pay more for the price of that instrument that you plan on buying, which sucks something fierce. And it's not good. I mean, I've been on Reverb for a while. I think I bought a pedal or two off of there a long time ago. I'll be honest, most of the stuff that I end up buying, I try to find locally, because that way, you know, you're supporting the local scene or whatever you would like to call it. You know, supporting your local mom and pop shop if you have one. I try to stay away from like the Guitar Center type stores, you know, the big old fat corporations if I can. And I just try to support the local businesses. You know, you usually find stuff cheaper if you buy it from a private party. You know, your Craigslist, I think, is one. Facebook Marketplace are two things that particularly come to mind in the back of my head. But I've never seen like a really great deal on something on Reverb, and I'm on Reverb almost every single day. I like looking at Gibsons because I'm definitely a Gibson fanboy. I'll throw up some Fenders too. Mainly Gibsons right now. I'm been looking for a PV T25. Basically, it's an older, basically the first CDC machine guitar I believe it is ever made. It's like the T60, but it's the Gibson scale length. And it has humbuckers in it as opposed to their like single coil sized humbuckers. So I've been looking for one of those. I've also been looking for an Ibanez Studio. I don't know why, just two kind of older 80s guitars that for whatever reason at one point or another I found them, I played them, I liked them, and now I want to find one of them and keep it for my own. Not massively valuable, not massively rare, but just something I want to own and hold on to. When I can finally get my hands on it. Ibanez TS9DX, I've been trying to find a decent price on one of those Ibanez Turbo TS9 pedals forever. Maybe one day I'll find one for under $100, but who knows. But I have never seen, oh yeah, Warmoth neck too for the guitar in the background. That I'm still trying to find a neck. I thought I had a buyer for the neck. I was like, yay, finally get to buy a new neck, but no. I want to sell that neck before I buy a neck, but I might end up having Warmoth make me a neck if I can't find one for a reasonable price. I'm a used guy, what can I say? I'm going to go for the used over the new because it's going to be a cheaper deal. It's going to sound the same. Yeah, there might be a ding or dent in it, but then I'm not freaking out because I was the one, I'm not the one that put that ding or dent in it. You know, it's already there, already worn in. I don't have to worry about it anymore at that point. It's kind of my thought with that. But as I said, there has not been like that magical, awesome, oh my God, that's a really good deal on Reverb. The prices aren't bad. Some of the prices, obviously, people are asking way too much money. You do have that make an offer option. But I definitely like the way eBay does it better because it makes you feel like you can get it for a lower price because people don't always know what they want. You can bid on it in increments, so theoretically it's going to go as high or as low as it can. You know, maybe nobody sees it, they listed it wrong, so you can get like a $3,000 guitar for $1,000 or something along those lines. I feel like eBay has always had the better deals in my personal opinion, but Let me know what you think down below as well, what your preference is, either like eBay or Reverb. So the interesting thing I want to talk about with eBay is eBay was actually a lot worse, and still kind of is for most items. Between like PayPal and actual eBay, if you are using PayPal, I know Reverb is not long. I don't think they're using PayPal anymore, which a lot of people do not like. A lot of people love using PayPal for everything. But basically, it was pushing 10%. So I mean, compared to that, yes, technically it's still going to be lower. But the thing is, in order to compete with Reverb, because Reverb was taking away a lot of the musical instrument business from them, they actually dropped it down to the same percent that it originally was, and it is still currently 3.5%, and there is currently no news of eBay raising it. So I want to talk about how the ball is very much so in eBay's court, and then how it may affect Reverb and might actually force them to lower the rate back to what it was. So eBay has like one of two options here at this point in time. They can either leave the rate alone, it's going to be lower, it's going to be at 3.5%, so theoretically more people are going to flock to eBay to sell and buy gear because the rate's going to be lower than Reverb, or they can just match Reverb yet again, get more money there still technically, and continue basically kind of being the back burner. Because obviously, I feel like there's definitely a lot more gear on Reverb than there is eBay. The seller fee is basically the same, but if people are going to Reverb, it's specifically to buy a musical instrument. And eBay, I mean, there's so many different things on there. You can buy cars on there, lightsabers, memorabilia, whatever you want to find, it's on eBay. Stuff that your parents shouldn't know about, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But yeah, eBay is for everything. Reverb is specifically for musical instruments, which is why I think that they have their big market there, because you go to Reverb, you have Reverb's guarantee. Obviously, they have a decent return policy. eBay's return policy is decent as well, but it's a little bit more interesting. Especially if you don't buy insurance for your items, which some people say it's a waste of money, but if I'm spending $3,000 on a Les Paul or something, I'm just going to suck it up and dish out the extra couple $100 for the insurance, and God forbid something goes wrong on a guitar that expensive. But I think if eBay stays the same, they are going to be the pinnacle for guitars again. I mean, they were for quite a while before, all these different stores started taking off for used gear. And it wouldn't surprise me if eBay, was the pinnacle again, because if you keep your rate at 3.5%, it's going to be lower than Reverb, and all the people that are now very annoyed that Reverb raised the rate, the sellers mainly, are going to flock to eBay to post their gear or try to sell all of it for a reasonable price by August 4th if they are particularly trying to get rid of it. I could definitely see that happening as well, and see what happens for the foreseeable future. I think Trogley did a video on this. He sells a lot of stuff on Reverb. His is the more higher end stuff, so people are willing to pay for it. But the issue is too, shipping is definitely interesting with Reverb. Especially if you do it through them. I believe they might charge a little bit more for shipping. I could be wrong, but if you're paying for a cheap guitar, you don't want to pay $70 in shipping because you don't have the money. You're basically, you got $200. That's what you got. You can't pay $200 for the guitar, then you get stuck with $70 shipping. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's up to eBay right now. It really is. If eBay wants to just leave it alone, not change it, they are going to make some good money, because a lot of people, I can guarantee you, will leave Reverb and go to eBay to post it. And I see plenty of stuff cross-posted on both just to get it out there more. See people, post on eBay, Reverb, Facebook Marketplace, all over the place. You can track it wherever. Sometimes they even do like a tiny bit of a price difference or price increase depending on where they're posting it. I have seen that done as well. But it'll definitely be interesting to see how this whole situation plays out. So let me know your thoughts, concerns, comments down below. Let me know what you want me to do for future guitar and music related videos. I try to get about one new video out a week. I've been camping the past couple of weekends, if you are wondering. Some people are wondering what I'm doing with my personal life. So on Monday, I threw up an old video I still have some old videos from my now currently anime and cartoon channel. As I said, I plan on uploading all the old videos to this as well. But, you know, it's definitely convenient because if I'm in a pinch, don't have time to do something, I can throw up an old video. So I just looking back on it, it just looks something weird, you know. No beard, glasses. My baby face again. That was before the laser eye surgery, before I grew the beard out. So it is definitely a giant, different looking thing when you see me now compared to back then. But in reality, I think I'm kind of the same. Maybe I'm just making a little bit better quality videos at this point in time, which would be nice. My name is Steve Gray. This is Gray's Guitars. Thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one.